The following program is rated PG-13. Parental supervision is advised.
All right. Let me get my clothes on here. Put my pants on. All right. Nobody's naked, right? All right.
Poseidon, the ruler of the seas and all that dwell within them. His rule over the oceans is unquestioned. There are those who serve him with tridents and with infinite knowledge of all things submarine. They are known by many names: coners, weaponeers, the merry men of Sherwood Forest. But by Poseidon himself, they are called the Subvets.
This business will get out of control. It'll get out of control and we'll be lucky to live through it.
I regret that we meet in this way. You and I are of a kind. In a different reality. I could have called you friend.
I'm a bit of a gambler, sir.
What happened to your shoes?
You ever bet on a sure thing and the horse gets a cramp, sir?
Grab up on.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I'm giving him a free shot at it from the stern tube. We can't reload those tubes very well. We can attack up his tail whenever we want to.
Yes, sir.
Captain, I cannot concur.
Repeat my command.
Sir, we don't know what this message means. Our target package could have changed.
You repeat this order, or I'll find somebody who will.
What good are honors from such people?
One ping only, please.
Man battle fishes missile for strategic launch, spin up all missiles.
Excuse me. I think this is the WSRT, right?
No, we're just gonna launch.
That's what my message says. WSRT says.
I just want to do
Michael uniform Lima Alpha.
Sierra Micro. No, mine's Sierra Micro Foxtrot. No, it's not the same one.
Man battle stations missile for WSRT, spin up all missiles.
Bong, 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 bong.
Yeah, we need to get some sound hooked up on this thing.
So, I have my popcorn tonight.
Very nice.
Because I thought, with all the stress and everything that's happening in the world, that maybe we could talk about some submarine movies, which has always been one of my favorite things.
That's an idea, because you could just ignore what's going on, watch a good submarine movie, and go back to another time.
And,
like the Cold War, World War II, something better than this.
Right. And to be clear, these are not submarine hacker flicks. These are not going to get your hacker card punched, because these are actually, according to this website I read, the 15 best submarine movies ever. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, they're not. In fact, there's at least one film on this list that doesn't belong on it.
Where did they get 15 popular submarine films? I don't think there is 15 of them.
Well, it's all in how you define submarine, too. So,
okay.
There's also one film that's not on this list that absolutely should be on this list. In fact, it's probably number 1 or number 2 on this list.
The Nautilus.
No, that's a submarine, not a film.
Oh.
So
what film was that? Disney film?
Oh, 20,000 Leagues Beneath the Sea. That's not on this list either.
That's not on there?
Nope.
Man, what's up with that?
Should be on this list. That's a great movie.
That's actually a good film. I like that.
It's a whale of a tail and a tail of a whale. A whale of a tail, we know.
Yeah. Let's go back to a better time.
I don't think we can.
Help me out.
We can't talk about Disney, can we? We don't talk about Disney.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the governor down there is not liking. Yeah, Disney's off the list. Are they canceled too?
I think they're trying to cancel us. Because okay, now follow me here, Rick. I'm not trying to offend anybody here or anything, but Disney, of course, has come out and said that they're going to insert gayness into every film that they make. The gay agenda, it's all there.
But they've always been happy. You're happy films,
right? But the question then is, how do we know? I mean,
the happy fun. Are you talking about the other thing, Dave?
I'm talking about Don't Ask, Don't Tell, man. Don't ask, don't tell.
Don't ask, don't tell. Man, I thought it was like, the happy film.
No. This is the stuff that you can't talk about, which apparently now you can talk about. And in fact, I'm told, I don't have any actual experience with this, but I'm told that being openly gay now in the military is kind of the thing.
Wow. Well, you're around that base, you know, you would know, you know, walking around.
You know, I went on the base today for the first time in like probably a year. Since we moved the float off the base. I think today was the first time we went on. And the only reason we went on is because gas prices here are so ridiculous that
$3.99, brother. That's what we
$3.99. Holy crap. I love that.
Got other bad news for the state of Colorado too.
That's $4.31 here. And so everybody goes to the Safeway because $4.31 is the cheapest at the Safeway. But Safeway has this ridiculous system for getting in and out of there, and it's jam-packed. So we said, well, screw this. We went to Costco. That was even worse. So he said, you know what we're doing? We're going on base and getting gas. And we paid $4.35 on gas, but believe me, we didn't have to wait. So that's the only reason.
So that wasn't bad. Yeah, right. So it was worth the trip. So the base is still there then?
Yeah, it's still here.
Good.
Did you not expect it to be?
No, I don't know what's going on anymore. It's crazy town.
We haven't started World War III yet. So.
And, you know, if Google wipes the base off the map, it's not there anymore. That's how it works. If Google says it's not there.
In fact, I was talking to my audience the other day because I literally had somebody text the show and say, Dave, what are our submarines doing right now? And I said, well,
they're submarining.
Yeah, because the Navy calls me every day and says, Dave, what do you think we ought to be doing? So I had to kind of explain that, well, I don't actually know what they're doing, but here's what we would have been doing in 1985.
Yeah.
So
I bet me and you could do a better job. I again don't want to offend anybody. If you guys want to give us control, we can figure it out.
Make us.
We need a fast attack rep though. So we need something.
Does Antoine want to do that? Doesn't Antoine want to do that?
He might. He might be in on that.
Right, but he's a stew burner, so what does he know? Anyway, there you go. So I'm Dave Bowman.
And I'm Eric from the subvet.com. The Subvet.
We are your submarine experts, which is why we're here to talk about subvet stuff. Now you'll notice that so we did have an emailer the last show who asked me specifically, Eric, he said, how often do you do this show? And I said to him, we try to do it every week. And then
what happened?
I blew up Eric. I broke Eric.
So Dave got mad at me last show and he broke both my feet. He broke my right ankle and my left foot. So I got fractures everywhere. So I'm trying to do a little bit better this time. You know, what was that? That was like a movie where, you know, like a Stephen King novel where the lady hobbled the guy's feet and he couldn't go anywhere. And yeah, I kind of got that going on. Maybe my wife hit my feet tonight. No, better not say that.
Did you ever watch that show on Patrol? Ever watch that movie on Patrol?
What was the name of it?
I don't remember.
I think I saw it, but I think
it's a disappointing movie because there's not enough sex in that movie.
Oh well,
and even if it was, she's not. Kathy Bates is not.
I bet you watching those type of movies on Patrol now has got to be pretty interesting. Anyways, carrying on.
Hey, we could get into that someday. So, are you ready for these 15 films? Are you ready for these 15?
Let's do it. 15 films. Let's go.
Coming in at number 15 is actually one of my favorite movies of all time. Okay. I don't think it's a submarine film. There is a submersible in the film. So by their definition, that makes it a submarine film. I love this film. But the film stars Bill Murray and Angelica Houston. And who's the other guy? I can't think of his name now.
I know.
But the name of the movie is The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
Life Aquatic, yeah.
You
like that movie? Huh?
It's a great movie, but
I actually never saw that movie. I should watch that one because it's what's his name's always a good actor. Bill Murray.
Yeah, Bill Murray's in it. Angelica Houston. The guy from Jurassic Park, the doctor. What's his name? The chaos guy. What's his name? It's gone right at the moment.
Yeah. He died recently, didn't he?
he didn't die. Owen Wilson is in it. William Dafoe is in it. He's hysterical. God, what is that guy's name? I feel stupid.
I'm trying to remember his name too.
He was in. I can't remember his
Malcolm.
name.
Yeah, he was
that's his character's name. But
too.
Who plays him? Oh, for the love of God, who plays the guy? Oh, this is just terrible. Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
He's in it. Anyway, I think it's a great film. I don't know that it's a submarine film, but it does have a submersible in it, which they call a submarine. So they give it number 15 on the best submarine flicks.
Number 15. Okay, well, I mean, I can probably live with
I would give it an honorable mention, but I wouldn't put it on the list of 15.
I don't know. Okay. All right.
Don't technically have an honorable mention list, but there you go. All right, number 14. This film, the first time I saw it was about 11 o'clock at night when I lived by myself. For a good 15 years, I lived by myself. I was single and ready to mingle, as it were, which meant that I stayed home every night because I was boring.
Single and ready to mingle.
Right.
That sounds kind of neat.
And okay. I couldn't sleep one night, and here's this submarine movie that I'd never seen on, I don't know, Cinemax or HBO or something. So I watched it, and I kicked myself afterwards because it is one of the best ghost stories I've ever seen. One of the scariest flicks I've ever seen. It's called Below, and it takes place aboard a United States Navy submarine during World War II. Now, the submarine is in the Atlantic, so there's none of the chasing the Japanese convoys down. Or
it's haunted. It's like a haunted submarine.
It becomes haunted because they accident. I don't want to give the plot away in case you want to watch.
We had a ghost to a missile compartment on a Grant. I'm pretty sure because we always saw the 35 MC mic things swinging.
Right.
From the third, I always saw them. I figured that was ghost. That's what I always call them.
We had a ghost in the system mode and configuration logic, but I don't think it was the same thing.
I was also looking for Bigfoot down there, so I had like a little display
find him?
there at the launcher. Nope, still looking like everybody else. But I never tried knocking on the missile tubes. I didn't know that wasn't a thing yet.
Right?
Maybe that could have been it. I could have been the first one to confirm he's alive. I could have been the guy.
You could have been, but you weren't. So the submarine picks up 3 survivors of a sunken ship, and things really start getting weird from there. And by the time this thing is over, okay, I'm freaked out, and I'm like, crap, I'm not going to bed tonight because I can't sleep now. I'm not turning these lights off. It's
scary. Huh?
It's a pretty scary, decent, scary movie. As submarine stuff goes, it's cheesy. It doesn't have a lot of, it's not very accurate, obviously, but
what they used to film it. They didn't use one of the museum boats. They built their own set. Okay.
Right. And what I tell people,
it'd be hard to do that.
I tell this to people all the time who ask for, believe it or not, people ask for my opinion about submarine books. I tell them, look, just tell a good story. Don't worry about the technical details. Tell a good story. And if you tell a good story, the rest of it won't matter.
Right.
Number 13. I have no idea. I've never seen this movie. I do not know why it's on this list, but it is another adaptation of a Michael Crichton novel. It's called Sphere. And it's Dustin Hoffman is a psychologist in a deep undersea habitat, not a submarine, a habitat. And he spends all his time reading the book.
Well, that's not a submarine. It's not a submarine at all.
I know.
It's a habitat. It doesn't go anywhere.
But he reads the book. One of the plot lines in the book or in the movie is that he keeps reading the book 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
So they never yelled cavitate on there.
No, they never did.
Oh, okay.
So that one's that's number 13. Number 12 should be much higher on this list. Number 12 should be in the top 5, hands down. K-19, The Widowmaker.
Love that movie.
That movie is
Harrison Ford.
Really good.
It was definitely worth the watch. It's one of the ones I've watched more than 3 times.
Right. Not only that, but it's a movie that I like because, again, I spent my whole career hating the Russians, and it really it humanizes them. And the scene at the end where the captain is saying, I put all these guys in for medals, and they were told we couldn't have medals because it wasn't on a time of war. And he says, what good are honors from such men? Anyway, and they drink their vodka and toast their shipmates, and it's a great movie. I don't know why it's at number 12.
I think they ended up building a memorial for them
They did. After the Cold War.
Yeah. You can Google that, look that up.
Number 11 is a recent movie. It's a good movie. It's kind of a submarine movie, but the submarine is the bad guy rather than the good guy.
Well, there's another movie like that with the submarines.
Right.
The bad guy.
We'll get to that, but this is number 11.
It's on there. Okay.
Yeah. Number 11 is Greyhound with Tom Hanks, where he's the commander of a destroyer escort, and the U-boat keeps calling him on the radio and taunting him. It's completely ridiculous, but it is a pretty good movie. It's pretty intense.
Is it kind of like that old TV show with Black Sheep with the what was his name? The pilot, the famous
Pappy
Marine
Bowen?
pilot. Pappy Bowen. Remember, there was always a back and forth between him and the Japanese.
Yeah, kind of like that. But
taunting each other.
It's really about him fighting against the submarines rather than the submarines, winning as they should. So, as we all know, they do.
Is it worth the watch?
It is definitely worth the watch. It is a very tense film. It's very, very well done, very tense, but not,
Because the thing about these newer films, they're just using a lot of CGI now, and CGI is getting really good, but sometimes you could still see it.
They actually filmed this aboard, I want to say it's USS the Sullivans, the World War II version, down in Texas. But yeah, there is a lot of CGI in it. I mean, there would have to be because the ship's not really at sea in a hurricane.
Right.
It's but they did film all the interior scenes aboard her. So it's a good film. Again, not necessarily a submarine flick the way I think of it. Number 10, very controversial film.
Oh, by the way, Diet Coke's gone up too. I'm gonna have to quit drinking this garbage. Anyways.
Yeah, you should anyway. But number 10 is a very controversial film. And the reason it's controversial is because it's based on a true story. But in the true story, it was the British that pulled this off. And in the movie, it's the Americans. But I didn't watch the film for many years because I thought, it's just Hollywood. But when I finally watched it, I was very happy with it. I thought it was pretty good. U-571.
So I was going to say that, yeah, great film. I liked it. But you're right that, a lot of people, the British people, and they're right. They should get credit for that. But, what do you think they were doing when they changed to really retrieve that? Because I don't even think it was a British submarine that got the, what was that device?
Well, they captured, it was the Enigma machine.
Enigma, yeah.
And they actually captured one on the surface. I'm trying to think the name of the U-boat. It wasn't the 505, because that was in 44, but they captured it. And they actually, they don't even tell the whole story of the U-boat. In the movie, of course, the U-boat is destroyed. But in the real story, they actually recommissioned the U-boat as a British ship. And there's actually photographs of this U-boat flying a British flag.
Really?
Triumph or something. It's pretty cool. But I thought it was a pretty tense movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's just not a true movie.
It kind of puts you up on your edge like this. And the torpedoes are going. You're like,
and if you're one of those people that goes, well, it has to be accurate or I won't watch it. Well,
it's not going to be for you. It's not you.
You're going to go.
But if you can just let that go a little bit, it's a great movie.
It's a good start. Number 9. We're into the top 9 now. Top 10. Ready?
Okay.
I have not seen this movie. Hadn't even heard of this movie until these people sent me this list. But it purports to tell the true story of the Kursk. The name of the movie is Command. And it has Colin Firth plays the captain, I guess, of the. And I love.
I actually tried to start watching this, and I don't know if I got distracted or it just wasn't doing anything for me. But I don't have an opinion. I have no opinion on it.
I'll give it.
I mean, telling the Kursk story. I mean, that'd be interesting. The people caught in the back, and they could hear them banging in the engine room, and they just the Russians didn't want to get any help to get down there. So we may or may not have had a submarine in the area. Who knows? I can either confirm or deny.
They don't check listening. With me. So. Number 8.
I thought they used to.
No, they didn't. We were never there. Number 8 is a film called Black Sea. It is a solid submarine thriller with a heist movie twist. Judd Law plays a down-and-out divorcee Navy vet, gets laid off from his job, decides to steal some Nazi gold using a submarine. Haven't seen it. Couldn't.
Oh, I did. I saw a little bit of this. What I saw of it really wasn't that bad. I just didn't watch the whole thing. I have a hard time fitting movies into my life anymore. But I did watch some of it, and I thought it was pretty good for what I watched anyways. It was interesting.
Number 7 is a movie that I have not seen. That's kind of repetitive here. But everyone that I've talked to that has seen it on all the submarine boards, all the stuff, says that this movie is really great. It's called The Wolf's Call. And it's a French submarine movie where the main character is actually a sonar man. He is a gifted sonar man. He can put, and we all know a sonar guy like this. They put on the headphones and they can tell you exactly what they're listening to. They can even
Jonesy, what you got for me, Jonesy?
Which whale is that? Oh, that's the male whale. That's the female. We all know that sonar guy. This is a Cold War one where the French are on the edge of everything's on the edge of an apocalypse with Russia threatening to nuke the world. The French boomers go to sea. This guy's a French sailor. And everyone who's seen it tells me it's really good. I haven't seen it.
All right.
But there you go. Number 6. I don't know why this is number 6. Should be higher on the list. Run Silent, Run Deep.
I love that movie too.
It's
number 6.
It's number 6. Should be number 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But it's number 6. And I think the only reason for it is because the Navy has always been critical of the main characters being too old. Clark Gable.
That's because he was kind of aged that had some like me bags in my eyes, kind of looked like me, old guy. Yeah, it was all the submarine commanders back then were young commanders.
Burt Lancaster was the other guy, and that seems to bother people that they were too old. And that is something to keep in mind. Is that, man, I was telling Cammie as we were driving on the base today. When I was stationed here, I was 19. And those submariners weren't that much older than that. They even the commanders were much older than that in World War II. And they're kind of right about that. But it's a great movie based on a great book. And there you go. Number 5, again, this movie, I will argue until I'm dead, Eric, should not be on any submarine list, period. This movie, what's the word for it? There's a word that describes movies like this. Oh, yeah, it sucks. It's bad. It's offensive. Crimson Tide.
No, that movie's awesome, man.
Gene Hackman.
It was true.
No,
Yeah, we always ride on a school bus before we get to the boat, and officers always tell people to do push-ups in the aisle.
Because they don't know the answer to questions about movie trivia.
Right.
Every captain has a dog that he lets piss in the bilge.
Yeah.
Make the enlisted people clean up.
Yeah, we had a dog. It was a puppet. Yeah.
I hate that.
Does that count?
I've hated that movie since the day it came out. I mean,
the funny thing is I might have said this before, but me and my buddy Pat, we were at No 2, and we'd always go up on the con because when they're in at port, nobody's really in control. We go up there and we reenact that thing. Give me back my missile key. But we got caught one time. Somebody walked in and, what are you two doing?
I will give the movie this. Hans Zimmer wrote the soundtrack for it. Score. The score is fantastic. The soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah, it's used for a lot of things now. A lot of
people.
The movie
itself, I will argue till I'm dead. That is one of the worst submarine quote unquote movies ever made. And I like Denzel Washington and Gene Hackman as actors, and I think their acting was pretty good, but the plot was it was not there. None of that was true. I tell people about that. If we got a message to launch, those missiles are going down range. We're not. There's no going to the surface for a second message. There's no argument. There's none of that. And when he walks into Missile Control Center with his 45 and starts threatening to shoot people, it's like, you know what? Number one, A, it would never happen, and B, if it did happen, well, there's 7 of us, and he only has 5 bullets. So how well is this going to go?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's arms. Well, I don't know. How many arm blocker is there on the Trident? Remember they had like
1.
Yeah. So they showed like 2, didn't they? Like there were 2 spots or something.
Right, I guess.
I like the part 2. We know they do the general arm and they're running up and down like 6 flights of stairs.
Yes.
And it's all metal. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah. Sound silencing. Ding,
that
ding,
movie
ding,
sucks. Should not be on any list. It's bad.
A lot of people do like that movie that are not submariners. They think it was. My dad liked it.
A lot of people like Will Smith and Chris Rock too, but now you got to pick your side.
Anyway, yeah, I'm not touching that.
Number 4 should be higher on the list for 2 reasons. One, because it's better than number 4, and reason number 2 is because number 3 shouldn't be on this list at all. But number 4 is The Hunt for Red October. The
I
most
watch
quoted
that movie once a week.
Yep, the most quoted submarine movie in history. Some things don't react well with bullets.
It's even quoted in Facebook comments I see on the subhead Facebook where people are always there's some guy he's quoting that all the time. I'm trying to remember who
I would like to have seen Montana. I raise rabbits and she will cook them for me.
I shall have a pickup truck and raise rabbits.
King only.
Can I have 2 wives?
This thing will get out of control and we'll be lucky to live through it.
That was a great line.
Yeah, Fred Thompson, man. Anyway, it's number 4. I don't know why.
Wasn't he congressman or senator in Tennessee?
Senator from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be number 4, but there you go. Because number 3 is a film that I was forced to watch against my will. I didn't want to watch it. There's a reason why I didn't want to watch it. They made me watch it anyway. I won't tell you who, but it was my ex-wife. It's called The Abyss. It has literally nothing to do with submarines other than it takes place underwater, science fiction.
Uh-huh.
And
who's making this list? Who says this is a movie?
This is a website called Slashfilms, and it's.
Oh, okay. We'll have to put it in the comments after, or put it, under the video when we're done.
Right. This is a James Cameron vehicle, and look, James Cameron goes on to do some amazing stuff with submarines and the likes of that. But this film, not a submarine flick, does not belong on this list, and it has one of my triggers in it that just really I don't deal well with. And my ex-wife knew that, but made me watch it anyway. And so for a couple of weeks after this film, I don't like this film in the sense that it's not a submarine film. It shouldn't be on this list. And it certainly shouldn't be.
I mean, it's not, I don't think I've seen this more than 1.5 times maybe, but I did like it when I watched it, but it's not, I don't think it's a submarine film. I mean,
shouldn't be on the list. It certainly didn't.
And at number 3, that makes no sense whatsoever. But maybe it did well in, the movie ratings and stuff. I don't know. Maybe it got an award or something.
Well, it was Cameron, so it did.
Yeah.
Number 2. Now we're into the good stuff. Number 2, probably one of the best. This movie was turned into a Star Trek episode. That's how good it is. It's called The Enemy Below.
See, that's why you said that when I said Enemy Below, another podcast. I told you, man, I love this submarine movie called Enemy Below. And you said some kind of Star Trek thing. But
it is. It's a Star Trek episode. It was turned into a Star Trek episode.
Yeah. But the Enemy Below was first before Star Trek.
Right. So you got a Nazi U-boat and an American destroyer captain. And it's a one-on-one battle. It is tense. It is exciting. It is interesting. It's accurate to a degree. And you really don't know who's going to, I mean, you think you know who's going to win because obviously the good guys always win. But in the words of the Romulan commander at the end of Star Trek, in another reality, I could have called you friend. And that's kind of where this ends up. In another reality, maybe you and I.
No, I didn't. I mean, it's interesting how the film ends. And I mean, it's a great film to watch. If you haven't watched it, I mean, some guys can't watch these old black and white movies, but I think that
one's in color. I think
they're great.
Enemy Below is in color.
That's right. It was in color. Yeah, Run Sight on Run Deep was black and white. But yeah, who else? It was John Wayne in that.
No, he's in another one. somebody's war, Hobson's War.
Yeah, he's like in a surface.
Where they drop the torpedo on the U-boat at the end.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking about. Great
Number
movie.
one. You ready? Numero uno, the best submarine in the movie in the history of submarine movies, according to Slashfilm, is, well, I mean, it should be, because it really is a pretty good submarine movie. Das Boot.
Das Boot. Yep.
Which, look, I mean, I get the whole morality issue of Nazi Germany and stuff like that, but submariners, I don't think U-boat sailors were thinking in those terms for the most part. I don't think they were. Right. I think they were just trying to do their duty as they saw it. And these are guys who certainly don't think much of Adolf Hitler or Nazism, but they go forth and do. And boy, is this!
It makes you wonder how many commanders were probably like that. Because I mean, because you just got a small cadre, 70 men, 60 men or something on board, and you got the captain. So depending on their personality and what they think, because everybody's got their kind of political views, but yeah, I remember
that thought, Eric. Take that same thought and apply it to what's going on today. How many of these commanders do you think are really into that?
How many are at sea right now getting crazy messages, and they're like, what the heck is, who knows what they're getting? I mean, it's not like again, they don't call Dave and me, but I mean, it's got to be some of that going on. What am I supposed to do? Yeah. What the heck's going on here?
The story in Das Boot, I always tell people, there's a dubbed version. There's an English dubbed version, which most Americans watch. I always tell people, don't watch that. Watch the version with the subtitles.
The subtitles is better because it gets confusing with the English thing because their lips are not moving in sync, and it kind of messes you up. That's just me. I don't know.
Not only that, but after a while, you can get the context of what's going on. You don't really need the subtitles. You'll pick up on it.
You can learn some German. Geht es Ihnen?
Hallo Jochen, bist du im Garten?
Ich meine Burre.
Trinken Sie Limonade mit mir? Sorry,
there you go.
Drinks du Limonade mit mir? We're on a familiar basis. So. Anyway, that's what they say to the 15. They say those are the 15 greats. Now, the problem with this list is, number one, there's at least two films that absolutely should not be on this list. The Abyss, and as far as I'm concerned, Crimson Tide. But they also left off what many of us consider to be the most accurate submarine movie.
The Sound of Music?
Yes, The Sound of Music. Number one, they left out Operation Petticoat, which is insane.
Oh, and what about Down Periscope?
Down Periscope should be on this list. Down Periscope should be number 2 or number 3.
Yeah, there's 2, 3 should be removed, and those other ones should be inserted.
Which makes you wonder if people have ever seen these things. Because
let me give these guys a call.
Yeah, we'll share this show with them because clearly they have not seen. Operation Petticoat is based on every submarine patrol report in World War II.
I noticed that we need to get on Reddit, because it seems like, if you want to get noticed by the actual media, they go to Reddit and they find submariners on there, and that's who they quote and say that. So it makes me wonder if they got some submariner from Reddit there, and that's how they made it, or it could be done by actual rankings when they got awards and stuff.
Dude, I'm 58 years old and my eyes suck.
Right.
I've tried to go on Reddit once or twice, and it is. I'm not trying to be. Look, I know you younger guys. I get it.
I think it's a big thing for them, Dave.
Yeah. Confusing freaking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Okay. So, yeah, maybe we do need to. But if we're going to do that, somebody out there is going to have to do it for us because I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I need a Reddit guy. Anybody want to work free and do Reddit? Anyway,
how's Down Periscope not on this list? Yeah. Down Periscope.
How is that not golfing on top of the Fast Attack? Heck yeah. Get up there.
Like a pirate. I mean,
speaking of CGI, when he comes in under the tanker or something between the propellers, yeah, that was a little bit fake, but it didn't matter, man. It was fun.
But you know how many times I've done that in cold waters? I've done that so many times in cold waters. I've said, what if I just go over there, and when the Russian fires a torpedo at me, then I'll just move away, and the torpedo will home in on the tanker or the surface ship or whatever.
So movie-based tactics work.
Movie-based tactics on the game, Cold Waters.
No kidding.
So,
So Crimson Tide, you get the message, and you go to the surface and make sure you get the right message.
Right. There is actually a scenario on there where you're commanding a boomer, and you've received the message, but you're being trailed, and so you have to break trail, which is kind of cool. When you're when you're in a Trident, it's pretty easy. I tried it the other day in a Delta 4 just for S&G.
So they got a Typhoon you can
Yes,
be
they
in
do
as
have a
well?
Typhoon. They have a Typhoon. I tried it in a Delta 4 just for S&G, and boy, those Virginias are hard to get away from.
And you can play each other in that, right?
No, that's one of the things I don't like about the game is you can't play somebody else.
Oh,
As far as I know.
Cool if
If you could, it would be great. But
yeah, I'd be down with that, man.
But anyway, I couldn't get away in the Delta 4. You know, it was weird is I got away in a Gulf 2. I tried it with a Gulf 2 one day, and I got away, but I couldn't get the Delta 4 away.
And it's noisy as heck, and he got away with it.
Well, it's a diesel electric, so you don't have those circulating pumps and stuff like that. So
yeah, I'd like to play that video game, but I just I got strict orders about stuff like that. The Peruvian pistol would get me.
Yeah. So there's Slashfilm.com's 15 best submarine movies. We've already corrected the list because they're wrong on a couple. But if you got any others you want to throw out there, I mean, there's a lot of good submarine flicks out there. Drop us a line. You can get me at dolphindave@slipperyfish.com.
And you can email me at eric@thesubbed.com. And I got something else real quick. So if you go on my website, you'll see 7K Metals. So right now, everything is upside down. Russia and China are on the BRIC system where they're going to gold-based currency, which makes our currency even more faker than it already is fake. That's why they call it fiat currency. So the best way to protect your savings and your money is to put some of it in gold and silver. And why not do it on a site called 7K Metals, where you can join a community. You can learn about saving gold and silver and see what that can do to help protect your assets. I got one right here. I just got this one. Was it Delaware? Isn't that where Biden's from?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's Maryland. I apologize. So shout out for Maryland. Yeah, so I get one of these. This is MS70, so this is a perfect condition coin. So, and NGC is a website that rates these things. So, and there's a big community called Sound Money that you can trade and buy other people's coins. So it's something really good to get into. And plus, when you get the education in gold and silver, there's a lot of other things that you can buy. Like I didn't know there was gold backs. You ever heard of the gold back? Now 7K don't sell that. And I haven't got them yet, but maybe next podcast I can say that. But it's like a little thin piece of gold in between some, I don't know, mylar or plastic or something. But Utah has them as legal currency, Nevada, New Hampshire, and there's another. So, like one Utah gold back is currently worth $4. It goes up and down based on currency. So, yeah, gold and silver is just something you can get into, and you can go on my website, thesubbed.com. and click on it. And it's 7K Metals/thesubbed, and you can start learning about it. And once again, you can email me, eric@thesubbed.com, if you have any questions.
Speaking of USS Delaware, she's being commissioned. Is it today or tomorrow?
I think that's right. I saw that. Yeah.
Sailing up the river there in Delaware.
I already got my Delaware coin.
That's a
challenge coin.
That's a Maryland coin.
That's Maryland coin. Is there going to be a Maryland? There's a Maryland, right?
There is a USS Maryland. It's a boomer.
Yeah,
it's an Ohio
boomer, yeah. I just remember I said I've been on that boat. So
I think we had several postings about the what am I trying to say, Eric? The Delaware sailing up the river, which was pretty cool.
Right. Yeah, put some on there. Yeah.
For me, the coolest part of that was
there's a local news video that
right there. Stephen Pastis, who writes a great cartoon. What is it? Pearls Before Swine? Is that what it is? He had a cartoon yesterday that just happened to be about Delaware, and it was Delaware, aware of Delaware, and so every time I'd see this post about the Delaware going to be commissioning, I'd post that cartoon where the guy says, "Hey, Rat, have you seen my line of clothing that shows my awareness of the state just east of Maryland? You know, where your coin's from?"
Delaware.
He said, "I put it all in your closet." And he said, the pig says, "You put my Delaware aware where, W-E-A-R, where, W-H-E-A-R?
Where?
It's like I kept posting that every time I'd see this story. I would post that cartoon. Didn't matter what board it was on or whatever. And so people were like, cartoons should not make people angry, but they do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, I just wanted to, I do have a lot of medical stuff going on, so that's why we haven't podcasted in a while. So the good news is I am in stable condition without disclosing too much, but we'll be getting a surgery here in 3 weeks. So we will try to podcast every week until then, and then we'll have to figure something out after that. Maybe you can get a temporary co-host, just take it over.
I could probably try to do it. Yeah. So other submarine news, you had a story here on the Subvet about the Type 93 Chinese submarines pictures being released. I thought that was weird because the Type 93s have been out for a while.
Right.
But
isn't that a different version of it?
Yeah, it's a newer, updated version of it. It's still a Type 93. The Chinese, it's a diesel electric boat that the Chinese have put out there. It's all I can tell you is from Cold Water's experience, it's crap, but who knows in the real world?
Why do I get a bad feeling that Taiwan is going to be taken down at the same time? I'm really surprised China hasn't tried something since this stuff's been going on.
Why do you have that bad feeling, Eric? Tell me why you have that bad feeling.
Just have a bad feeling because China's always said they wanted Taiwan. They said it's their land and we're going to take it. And maybe they know our submarine captains are confused with certain things that they're getting. This is a good time to take advantage of that. But is that a good way to say it without saying it too political?
You think it has to do with our submarine captains and not everything else that's going on in the world right now?
Right. Maybe they're not in Taiwan. Maybe they're all in Russia or the Black Sea, or I don't know. You can't even get in here, can you? Without going through that. There's like the
Bosphorus. Yeah.
Yeah.
As I understand it, the Turks have closed the Bosphorus to.
Yeah, I was supposed to say Turkey. I think closed it. Yeah.
But
can't get in.
You know, I mean, when push comes to shove, I don't know if that means anything or not.
Why did I read something? One of the Russian articles. Because I don't get a chance to read everything, but I try to read a little bit. It said something about that most of missile submarines are just in the Black Sea area. They don't really go out in the open ocean.
Sea. They would be in the Barents Sea.
No, I thought they said it was a closed one because they actually have a ICBM. This is what it said in the article. I'm not going to disclose the details of what the Trident II can do, but they're saying they can hit anywhere in the world. You know, they can launch right at the pier. So that's why they're saying they like to keep them close to home. That's just what the article said. I can't remember which one it was. So.
I would be. Most of the Russian boomers are based out of the Kamchatka Peninsula and the Murmansk area. There was a lot of discussion back in the day about the White Sea Bastion, where they could put the submarines to sea just off the northern coast of Russia and guard them with their fast boats, and so we couldn't get to them and blah blah blah. As far as the Pacific Fleet goes, I don't know what they would do. You could probably just stay in the Sea of Okhotsk, Okhotsk, however you say that. Guard that across the Kurils with your fast boats. But I can't imagine them having a boomer in the Black Sea. That would be weird.
Yeah, is there another enclosed? I'm not looking at a map. So you get the Black Sea, that's enclosed. Is there another sea that's enclosed?
They're not totally enclosed, but like I said, the Sea of Okhotsk, while it's not enclosed, you could easily guard it from people getting in there. Same with the White Sea, the Kara Sea, but those may be iced in. I remember from my time, it was the White Sea, which is just off the north coast of the Soviet Union. It's just off, literally just
the East Coast. You're talking about the East Coast?
It's literally just off of Murmansk, and it's actually kind of a fjord, a big fjord, north of Archangel and Murmansk, and it has a very narrow opening, and you could put a couple. There's no way we could get in there. So that's the theory. You put all your boomers in there, and then they're invulnerable, and you can get it. But I don't think that theory works, because here's why. And you know, maybe I'm weird, maybe I'm dumb, but if I knew that all the Russian boomers were sitting in the White Sea, all I'd have to do is target the White Sea with a bunch of Minutemen III with those giant freaking warheads that they have, and just hit the surface of the White Sea, the whole thing there, and
run a bomber in there with some of the cruise missiles. We don't have cruise missile nuclear tip, do we? I don't think so.
Tomahawks?
I think the treaty. I think the treaty forbids it. Unless, I mean, who's following treaties anymore? Who's following anything anymore?
I just don't know that the White Sea bastion idea or the Sea of Octos would work, because
keeping them closing. Yeah.
Right. It could still be countered. It would be expensive and hard to do, but you could do it. They're better off at sea, where theoretically you can hide, just like ours do.
Right.
But I don't know.
Well, like you said before, a lot of these Russian articles are just propaganda anyways. Maybe you sent out to confuse you, or, you know, hey, here we are, come and get us. Yeah. I mean, you're right. It doesn't make sense for them to be there.
Well,
because we can have a little.
There's a lot of weird news coming out these days from Russia.
Did you see the CMEs that are coming through right now? I mean, we're lucky we're even talking on the internet. The sun's going crazy.
Oh, that's right. And, yeah, I did see. We actually had last night.
And there's kinds of weird light things dropping in through the clouds, and
Aurora Borealis. We couldn't see it here because it's so rainy.
No, there's something besides the Aurora Borealis that people are seeing. They're like seeing like little light columns. They're saying it's like the heavens open and angels coming down through it and stuff. But
they're saying that, huh?
Yeah, but it's just the sun's really doing some weird stuff. It could, they got a theory that every 4,000 or 5,000. Let me get into my conspiracy stuff. But the Earth kind of gets worked out because it does a microburst. So that's kind of where it just puts up a big flash of energy right there and just wipes off the surface of the planet. You clean slate and then you start all over again.
Right.
But you'll be okay because you'll be in your tornado shelter, huh?
I don't have a tornado shelter. I live in Washington State. Why would I have a tornado shelter?
Go build one.
I need a bomb shelter because I'm basically at ground zero if the Russians decide to get up here, but I don't have one. I've been playing with
your shelter.
I've been playing with Nuke Map, the website Nuke Map. And I'm
that was a good patrol flick too, Twister. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
Were you in the Navy then still?
I think I'd just gotten out of the Navy when that came out.
Yeah.
But I watched it because it features the University of Oklahoma, which is, of course, my home. So anyway, been playing with Nuke Map because everybody keeps asking me up here, are we going to die? And my initial answer.
So you're doing the Nuke Map, the simulations of blasting, how many megatons and
doing research on Soviet. I'm doing research on Soviet warheads. How big are they? Is it an air burst? Is it a ground burst? Because, Swift Pack is 3 miles from here.
Uh-huh.
But there are 3 distinct ridges between here and there. So if they hit Swift Pack with an air burst, I'm toast.
Right.
If they hit Swift Pack with a ground, burrowing kind of thing, we probably burn to death. But, from the fire. But
air burst is what does the job. So.
Yeah, air burst, we're toast. We're done. And of course, this whole area is going to go. So,
I mean, just kind of, since we're talking about that, I mean, if it did happen, it's happening. Do you want to be out on the edge where you survive and you got to live through what do you call it, dark winter, and worry about nuclear radiation, the dirt being thrown up, and you want to live like that, or you want to? Like me, I'm just going to get my baseball mitt out and I'm going to catch that sucker when it comes in. I'm going to go over to Buckley and
back during the Cuban Missile Crisis, they actually asked, what was her name? John Kennedy's wife. I can't think of her name. Jacqueline Kennedy. They asked her that very question. What are you going to do? Right. And you know what her answer was? This is the First Lady of the United States. She said, I'm going to walk out on the front lawn with John, and Carolyn and just hold hands.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I think isn't this crazier than the Cuban crisis? This is a different type of crazy. We don't even know. It's 100 times crazy, 1,000 times crazy. Crazy train.
Back and forth between, I literally flop back and forth, and because of my regular show and people asking questions and stuff, and I flop back and forth between what I think is going to happen, what is not going to happen, and of course, Biden over the weekend was asked to verify his policy or reiterate his policy that the United States will never use first strike of nuclear weapons, and he wouldn't do it because he can't do that. So now everybody is having a tizzy about, will the United States, the only nation to nuke another country, do it again? Well, yeah.
There was another article I read recently saying that a first strike nuclear war probably could be won with the newer weapons.
Yeah, the W-76-2s. That's what they're built for, folks. That's what they're designed for. So, yeah, we could. Will we? God, I hope not.
You get the missile fields, you get the bombers before they come in, and
you don't even have to get all that. All you got to get is the command control structures. And
is that you're talking about the hypersonic missile, right?
No, I'm talking about the W-76, the warhead Trump built for the Trident missiles. So the W-76-2 is a.
Yeah, I mean, I heard we could I think both sides, both Russia and probably even China, they're all war game it that you get admirals thinking, oh yeah, we can get this done. Air Force generals.
I have said for 40 years that all these people that keep since the movie War Games came out in 82, 83, I don't even remember when it was. Right. Remember Matthew Broderick and Ali Sheen.
I like that movie.
And at the end of the movie, the computer says, the only way to win is not to play. Right? Remember that? Mm-hmm. That's complete nonsense. Believe me, the people who are scheming for this know that it's all in how you define win. And believe me, they think that you can win a nuclear war. Right. And they're planning to. So hold on.
Hold on to your hats, because anything can happen. I mean, and when it does happen, you're going to be confused probably. Right. Whatever it does happen, you're like, what? If you live through it.
But I'll be dead, Eric. So it won't matter.
So if they don't hit Buckley, I'm going to have to find another co-host. Dang it. Well,
sure,
there's plenty of people on Facebook. Yeah, I can find somebody.
But you'll be having your surgery, so.
Yeah, I'm having my surgery.
All right.
What if we get nuked while they're cutting on me? That wouldn't be cool. Oh, anyways.
You wouldn't wake up. You'd never know, right?
That's right. It'd be better. They come knocked out. Some already not.
There's the real question.
That's awesome.
There's the real question, Eric. It isn't the question isn't rather what you want to survive or not. The question is, do you want to know?
Right. Dying in your sleep is always the best way to go. Everybody says that.
Right. Not like the people in the backseat of my grandpa's car screaming. That's how he went. He died in his sleep. The people in the backseat of his car, they were screaming. But
he died in his sleep and everybody freaked out when he's right. Man, yeah, watching your loved ones pass. I mean, I've done that with, I don't want to get upset about it, but yeah, it hurts. Watching somebody pass.
I'm just curious. What do you want to know that it's coming or not?
No. I told you when that alarm went off for the tornado drill, I freaked out.
Yeah.
I was the first one to figure it out. I said, hey, they're running a test. It's tested, twice a year.
Well, there you go. So if you're interested in co-hosting while Eric is out on his sabbatical, just drop me a line, dolphindave@slipperyfish.com.
Oh, that's a condom.
What?
Hit me up at eric@thesubvet.com. No, I had the siren. See, you hear it? But that's not the same one.
No.
I think they're here to get me. What did we say, Dave?
I say secure from battle stations missile. Keep it watch. Secure from battle stations missile.
Secure from battle stations missile.
On the 1MC. Secure from battle stations missile. Set condition 2SQ.
Yep.
And on that
note, from battle stations missile. Set condition 2SQ. I should have said it.
I was going to say, I'm trying to tell him to do that, and he just doesn't.
I'm not on my game here. Set condition 2SQ.
Try again.
Secure from battle stations missile. Set condition 2SQ.
I don't even know who I am anymore.
I'm Dave.
It's that 5G. 5G's getting me. I'm Eric. Eric Ryle.
The Subvet. We'll see you next time, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye.